Good afternoon, everyone. So, as you can see from the title of this video, it's something that I'm super fucking passionate about. And the reason for that is, for those of you that know any of my story or have followed me for a little while, you'll probably know that I've been on quite a deep transformation over the last 3 or 4 years. And one thing that this year especially has taught me is how vital it is that us men actually have other men around us to support us and guide us. Now, you can tell by the title of this video that one of the things that I've mentioned is how in tribes there was initiation processes, and these were used as forms of like transition from boyhood to manhood. Nowadays, we don't really have strong male role models to guide us out of boyhood and into manhood. And that's why, in my honest opinion, I believe that so many of us men are struggling. And we actually don't have other men that we can go to for support, we can go to for guidance. And really, a lot of what us men are being told or are being led to believe is that our masculinity is toxic, and feminist extremists are pretty much putting the message out there that actually us men aren't needed at all. Now, I'm here to call bullshit on that. And there's so many others that would also agree once I actually start to open up and share this message. Now, men are needed to create safety. And I'm not talking specifically about, physical safety, because, feminist extremists will tell us that, they too can be physically strong. Yes, I agree. But us men, our biological need and ultimate purpose, I believe, is to protect those that need protecting. And first of all, that comes down to looking at who we are as individuals first and foremost, and working through the things that we know we need to work through. And I also believe that that really needs to be done through other men. So whether it's support groups, whether it's counseling, therapy, like a woman can't teach a man how to be a man. And I mean that from, I have so much respect for women, especially single parents that are trying to bring young boys up. Now, it's not their fault, and they're so strong for even, having to take on that role, but they just can't do it. And ultimately, it comes down to the fact that, fatherless boys need fathers. And the reason why their fathers aren't there, in my opinion, really comes down to the fact that these males haven't actually gone through this transition period and initiation process from boyhood to manhood. Now, as men, it's our duty to hold ourselves responsible and take some of the weight that we've put on women, take some of that weight off, and actually start doing our bit and start stepping up. And for the last 3 or 4 years, I wasn't stepping up. I was still in boyhood. Now, the reason why I'm creating like everything that I'm in the process of creating, and why I'm so passionate about supporting men, is because I've been through this myself. Like I'm still going through it. I'm still trying to better myself. I'm still trying to improve my situation and ultimately be the man that I know that I am deep down, but also I want to be the man that others deserve me to be. I don't want to be a drain on anyone. I don't want to be, a weak man that, can't take responsibility for my actions and just goes around fucking up and hurting people and, doing things that ultimately, like, boys do. Like, boys don't take responsibility. Boys don't step up. Boys expect, others to save them. And normally the ones saving them are our women. Our women save us. Now it's our duty to fucking step up and take responsibility. And I'm looking at myself here. I'm talking to myself because this was me and I'm still going through this process. Now, I've been, transitioning for the last 3 or 4 years, and what I've created, I'm so fucking proud of, because these, like I said in the title of this video, these steps are fucking vital to go through in order to actually come through the other side and start becoming a man, rather than just, getting to a place of like puberty and pretty much just staying there. So each week, each day, like I mentioned, I'm going to be discussing the weekly module that we'll go through in the 8-week Powerful Man transformation. Now, I obviously mentioned that there's an initiation process, just like tribes have. They have to almost initiate and transition into manhood, and then my 8-week transformation is that full transformation and transition into manhood. But I want to discuss the importance of each module that we're going to be going through. So right back, probably close to 4 years ago now, I had been living my life really just seeking external validation from females, from like trying to create some form of financial wealth to prove myself worthy to others. Like I was doing a lot of things because I didn't feel worthy, and I didn't really have that much confidence. On the outside, it may have looked like I had a lot of confidence, and yeah, sure, I had a lot more confidence than, what I had as a teenager, but I'd got myself to a point where I was still wearing a mask, and like this process right now that I'm going to explain was huge in my transformation. So week 1 is where we look at who you are, and the reason why we do that is because it's so easy to bullshit others, and it's easy to bullshit ourselves. Like, we will make excuses, we will pretty much fabricate the truth when we speak to others, we will tell other people that everything's fine, we will try and portray ourselves in like a light that, makes other people believe that we're better than we are, and ultimately we just try and almost make others believe that everything is perfect. So once we can start to look at who we actually are right now, we can then start to unpack all our stories, all our excuses, and the ways that we avoid the things that we need to actually address, the ways in which like we struggle to communicate, the things that we do that actually we keep behind closed doors because we don't want others to see that side of ourselves. Once we can start looking at all that, and we can get real, like, super honest about who we actually are, from that point then we can look at who we want to become. but it's fundamental that first of all we actually look at who we are. And this isn't looking at who we are through, you know, the eyes of self-judgment or shame or guilt. It's just coming to the realization that actually I am where I am and it's my responsibility. And once you can look at your life and, you know, who you actually are through the eyes of self-responsibility, then you can start to move forward. So week 1 is looking at who you currently are. Now tomorrow I'll be back with module 2, and if you've got any questions about what I'm creating and my reasons or anything that I've said in this video, please just pop them in the comments section or just send me a message. Speak to you tomorrow.